Okay, let's talk about Sam Altman. As the CEO of OpenAI, he is, without a doubt, one of the most influential people on the entire planet right now.
And what he's building, it isn't just another app, right? He is at the very forefront of the race to create artificial general intelligence, AGI. And this isn't just some tech upgrade. This is a technology that could literally reshape, well, everything. Our world, humanity itself.
So, here's the big mystery, the paradox at the heart of it all. Why is the man building this incredible future also reportedly preparing for the end of the world? I mean, we're talking a full-on doomsday bunker, stocked and ready for a global catastrophe. That contradiction, that's exactly what we need to unpack here.
So to really get what's going on, you have to realize there are kind of these two versions of Sam Altman. They seem to exist at the exact same time. There's the Sam we all see in public, and then there's the one that's revealed by his past actions and, maybe more importantly, his own writings.
Just look at this contrast. It's pretty stark. In public, when he's testifying before Congress, Altman is the picture of calm. He's reassuring everyone, saying, hey, AI is just a tool. It's something we control. But then his private actions tell a completely different story. It's a story of someone preparing for a scenario where everything, and I mean everything, goes horribly, horribly wrong.
And you know what? This isn't some new thing. This disconnect has been there for years. His public persona is always so measured, so marketable. But behind the scenes, he has, for a long time, acknowledged that a superintelligent AI could be a massive threat to humanity's very existence. So, to solve this puzzle, we actually have to go back in time a bit. We're talking before ChatGPT was a household name. We have to look at what Sam Altman himself wrote down.
And this is such a powerful idea, right? I mean, think about it. History is just littered with examples of leaders who laid out their entire game plan in manifestos or speeches, and people just dismissed it. They called it rhetoric until it was way too late. So the point is, when someone puts their warnings, their vision for the future in writing, we should probably pay attention.
And this was his blueprint. Back in a 2017 blog post, he laid out this theory he called the merge. The idea was, well, it was terrifyingly simple. He said humanity is coming up on a fork in the road, and there are only two choices. Path 1, we literally fuse ourselves with the AI we're creating. Path 2, we get wiped out by it. That's it.
Now you might think, okay, that sounds pretty wild. But this wasn't just some isolated theory he cooked up. It turns out that the world's leading AI experts, I'm talking about the very people who are building this technology, a lot of them share his deep concern.
Take Geoffrey Hinton, for example. I mean, this guy is literally called the godfather of AI. He's one of the absolute pioneers, and his whole tone has shifted. It's gone from this academic curiosity to, frankly, genuine alarm. That timeline he used to think was 30, maybe 50 years away, yeah, he says that's completely collapsed.
We're listening to this from the CEO of Microsoft AI, Mustafa Suleyman. He's not talking about building a tool. He's not talking about an app. He says we are building a new species. Think about that for a second. That framing, it changes everything. Because you don't control a new species. You either coexist with it or you compete with it. And this next quote, wow, it just perfectly illustrates the potential power dynamic here. This is from Ilya Sutskever, Sam Altman's own co-founder at OpenAI, and his analogy is just chillingly clear. He says, look at how humans treat animals. When we need to build a highway, we don't ask the squirrels for permission. So, if a vastly superior intelligence shows up, what's to stop it from treating us the exact same way?
So the big question is, how soon? How soon could this all happen? Well, there's this quiet consensus building among the top AI researchers, and that includes Sam Altman. And they're putting the timeline for AI to surpass humans in pretty much every way, at just 1 to 5 years. Let that sink in. This isn't science fiction anymore. It feels a lot more like a deadline.
Okay, so with that absolutely terrifying timeline in mind, let's circle back to Altman's 2017 blueprint. Let's look a little closer at the really stark choice he believed humanity was facing.
And he was incredibly clear about this, by the way. This wasn't some fuzzy spectrum of possibilities. In his mind, once superintelligence arrived on the scene, there were only two outcomes on the table. Period.
So what does merging with AI even look like? What does that mean? Well, he laid out some pretty wild possibilities. We're talking about things like brain-machine interfaces, chips literally implanted in your brain so you can think faster, or genetic engineering,
editing our own genes to supercharge our intelligence. I mean, this is straight-up science fiction, but he was presenting it as a basic necessity for survival.
And here it is, in his own words. It's just stated with brutal, unbelievable clarity. There's no middle ground. He says, we can figure out what a successful merge looks like, or the other option is extinction. That's it. This is what the man who is currently building the world's most powerful AI once publicly declared.
Which brings us all the way back to where we started, right? Back to that original question. Because now we've seen the blueprint, we've heard the consensus from other experts, we understand the stakes as he once saw them.
So if he really believed all this, why doesn't he say it anymore? Why the huge shift? How do you go from being this apocalyptic prophet to a calm, reassuring tech ambassador? If the threat is that real and the timeline is that short, why did he stop sounding the alarm?
Well, there are a few possibilities, and honestly, they're all pretty chilling. First, you got the AI arms race. If OpenAI slows down, one of their competitors might not, and that could be even more dangerous. Second, think about the investors. You can't exactly raise billions of dollars by telling people your creation might end the world, right? But maybe the most disturbing reason of all is the last one. Maybe he's silent because he knows this race can't be stopped, that the whole system is just too big, it's moving too fast, and no one, not even him, can control it anymore.
And that's the question that just hangs in the air, isn't it? If the very people building this technology are locked in a competition they feel they can't afford to lose, and they can't even sound the alarm because they're afraid of the consequences, it makes you ask a much, much bigger question. Who is actually in control here? Who is really steering the ship? And where are they taking us? Towards that merge or somewhere else entirely?